if you have thought that you feeling like you're faking it while saying I love you means that you're faking it, it doesn't have to mean that. There's things at play here that we're going to dive into that will make you feel like you're faking it even when you're not. I am Pauline and I am so happy you are here because it feels horrible, right? If you feel like, oh, this is a moment to say I love you and I'm not feeling it. And so when I say it, that will be wrong. I am leading them on. I can't say that. I feel fake. Um that is actually a beautiful thing because it means that you do not want to be inauthentic. And being authentic is actually a deep need for fearful avoidance. And that's a very good thing. At the same time, you are scared of a lot of things. You are scared of feelings, of allowing feelings to completely be there. You want certain feelings in a certain way at a certain intensity for a certain amount of time, but you don't want a lot of other feelings. You're scared of those, you're suppressing those, and that is not how feelings work. They're kind of a package deal. When you're very much afraid of a lot of feelings and you only want to have a few, you kind of suppress all of your feelings. So you're afraid of your feelings. That's one. You're afraid of hurting others. And that might sound weird when it comes to you feeling like you're faking it when you say I love you, but there's a lot of people who are not taking this so seriously, so authentically, and would just say I love you and don't even really think about it. But you, on the other hand, not wanting to hurt your partner, you're thinking, oh, I can only say it when I completely, deeply, fully feel it and mean it. And I don't right now, so then I can't say it, but then I'm hurting them by not saying it. So I hurt them by saying it and not being truthful, and I'm hurting them by not saying it. So you're definitely taking their feelings into account, even when you're not completely aware of it. You're also scared of failing, of consistency, of keeping it up. Do you recognize that when you are feeling good and you feel like you're a loving partner, you are expressing your love, there can be a moment, almost a trigger, where you're like, what if I can't keep this up? What if I can't be consistent? What if my partner now thinks I'm this amazing person, amazing partner, and then I I fumble. I fumble the ball, and they will find out that I'm not as amazing as they think I am. So you're afraid of failing in consistency, failing in keeping it up. And you feel like if I say I love you now, then I will always have to say it in this moment or in similar moments. And what if I can't? What if I won't be able to do that in the future? So that's another fear you have that has an influence on this whole feeling fake. Do you see it's not that simple? It's not just feeling fake, saying I love you. There's so much at play. We're going to go on. You're amazing. Um, because you're also scared of connection and being rejected. And I saying I love you is a possibility for connection. It's an opening to connection. When you're scared of connection, it makes so much sense that it feels really hard to say I love you. And you're also very afraid of being rejected. So saying I love you could cause a reaction that your nervous system is just not ready to handle yet. And so there is something inside you that will hold you back from saying it. And that would be you feeling like you're faking it. So your fear brain is saying, don't say it, don't say it, you're faking it, it's not true, you're not feeling it, you're not completely feeling it. But also because you're afraid of connection, you're afraid of rejection, you close off your feelings. And then you don't feel enough to authentically say, I love you. So you're afraid of your feelings, you're afraid of connection, you're afraid of rejection. All of those lead to you suppressing and closing off your feelings, which makes total sense. And then you don't feel enough to say, I love you, and you're thinking, I have to feel it deeply. But it makes so much sense that you're not feeling it deeply because you're scared of feeling and connection and rejection. Are you starting to see this dynamic, how it works. Then another thing that definitely comes into play here is that we fearful avoidants usually don't have a realistic image of what love feels like. Also not really what it looks like, but definitely also not what it feels like. Most of the time we live in the world of it's not enough. I'm not feeling enough. I should be feeling more. And my feelings need to be perfect, otherwise I am fooling myself and or I am leading my partner on. And that is a horrible thing to do. If I do that, I have to break up with them. And if I don't break up with them, that means that I'm weak, I'm doing it wrong. That might be, the thoughts that are circling around this. And for a fearful avoidant, love means intense emotions. You equate love to intense emotions. I remember so well when I thought this is not love. Love is like super, super overwhelming almost. And when I started to break it down and really started healing, I realized that the person that I loved before my husband the most was my dad. And that's just what we do when we grow up. It doesn't matter how your parents treat you, what they are, you just love them the most in the world. And my dad really tried, but he is a fearful avoidant himself, and there was a lot of anger, there was a lot of unpredictability, and so my nervous system was just wired for being anxious the whole time, having these intense fearful feelings, and then kind of having this intense relief when I would get love or would get warmth or attention. And so my image of what love felt like was just completely created by the feelings I had for my father, around my father. And sorry. There's a lot going on at the same time. I realize my daughter is, young and she loves me this much. I know that, but it kind of hits me right now. And I still love my dad a lot. And now I've healed so much trauma, so that love, it feels more pure and not based on fear anymore, which is amazing. And I realize that I love my husband so much and we've gone through so much. So a lot of realizations at the same time. But a lot of fearful avoidants just feel like they're not feeling enough. And it has to be intense. It has to be all the time. And it can never not be there. So I wanted to have butterflies and, this overwhelming sexual attraction constantly, all the time. And when it would not be there or it would feel numb, I would think this is not right. This is not love. And what that is actually kind of perfectionism in feelings. You want feelings to be perfect in order to know that you're not making, you're not doing anything wrong and you're making the right choice. So the realistic image of feeling of love is hard to construe when you grew up with such a different image. But what I can say now that I've healed, is it feels calmer, more peaceful, but so much richer and way more satisfying. And I still have those butterflies, but they're not like, I have those butterflies, I need, it's not needy anymore. It's not needy anymore. And because it's calm and stable, it has the ability to deepen and strengthen and get even better and richer. And that's what is happening over time. So having a realistic image of what love feels like, also that it comes and goes. It's not something that is always constantly there, that this was something that when I interviewed 100 couples happily married over 40 years was such a mind-blowing fact to me, that feelings come and go. I thought they had to be there always, always, 100% of the time. And every single one of them said, oh, no, that just comes and goes day by day, but also year by year. Some years you feel more, some years you feel less. And just knowing that helped me so much in not judging my feelings for not being there. And then the one other reason why it feels like you're faking it when you say I love you is because it's vulnerable to say when connection is available. So you kind of close off your feelings, you numb your feelings so you don't have to say it, so you're not taking a risk. So much of what the fear brain does is trying to protect you from being rejected, from feeling any sort of pain. And closing off your feelings is one of them. Your fear brain is not just working with your thoughts and, having anxious thoughts. It also has an influence on your body and what you feel and what you don't feel. So once you are way more comfortable with your feelings, you've healed the negative associations that you have around feelings, and you are able to allow all feelings to be there, you will find that those negative feelings that you're so scared of, first of all, are not as scary as you think. And second of all, you won't feel them as much when you completely allow them, because your system, your core, is actually focused on peace and love. That's what is at everybody's core. And fear is just layers on top of that. So when you allow all of your feelings to be there and you heal all the negative associations that you have around feelings, you will move to feeling love and peace more and more. But the more you cling on to that, you hold on to that, and you only want to feel that and not the negative emotions and not the negative feelings, you suppress everything. It sounds paradoxical, and it might feel like it's not fair, but we are meant to have emotions and to feel. We are made for that. Our bodies are made for that, and it's a beautiful thing. I now don't see feeling anger as more negative than feeling love. It's just, I know that must sound crazy to you, but it's just emotions. It's just sensations in my body, and I'm not scared of any feeling or emotion anymore, and that's why I have peace in my body. And I so wish that for you. So having those feelings, completely allowing them, is one. And the fear of hurting others, when you release that, you will be able to connect to others. The fear of hurting others is not preventing you from hurting others. In fact, when I had this belief that I hurt others and I wasn't allowed to, I hurt them more than now that I've healed that and can actually tune in, connect, and just, be, and be with other people and connect with other people. So this fear of hurting others is not serving you. So when you heal that, it will be so much easier to really connect to saying I love you. And then the fear of failing and not keeping up and not being consistent, you can heal that too. And when you do, you will notice that saying simple things like I love you doesn't feel like such a mountain, because you attach every single thing that would come after it to it. And that's what you do when you're afraid of failing when it comes to consistency and keeping it up. This one I love you is not one I love you to you. It's the 1,000 I love yous that come behind it, come after it too. And that is a mountain. That is so heavy. So it makes sense that you're afraid of saying it now, because you're piling on all those other I love yous that come behind it. And then healing the fear of connection and rejection will just make your life infinitely better in ways you cannot imagine right now. Um, so this feeling like you're faking it doesn't mean that you're faking it. It just means that there's a lot of fears that keep you from connecting to that I love you. And if that is what you want to heal, Healed and Happy is the place for that. We go to those roots of the fearful avoidant attachment style. So you can find the program in the description below. There's a link in the description below. I would love to guide you through this. I just so wish for you to experience the love and the connection and the sense of peace and calm and just being able to say I love you without a second thought, without it feeling like such a heavy burden and feeling like you're faking it and being so harsh on yourself and judging yourself and feeling like a horrible person because you're not. There's just a lot of negative associations that we get to heal, and that will give you so much freedom to just be you, enjoy life, and be in the moment. I am so happy you were here, and I will see you in the next one. Healed and Happy is a tailor-made online program where me and my team personally guide you through healing the roots of the fearful avoidant attachment style.